Hey, what's up, beautiful people? I hope you all are doing well today. All right, guys, please permit me to face my front as I drive, okay? So I may not be able to look into the screen while I drive. All right, so today I want us to handle this subject I titled "And Sarah Laughed." And Sarah laughed. You know, you find the story. It's a popular story in the Bible, in the book of Genesis chapter 18. You know, when God visited Abraham, you know, that angelic visitation, yeah. So, the message was delivered to Abraham, and Sarah heard of it. But because of the situation, she laughed over it. She saw it as impossible. And why Sarah laughed is the subject for today. And I will tell you why it is a subject. Because, you know, we are in a time where we Christians are, you know, very in a hurry to judge, you know, some characters in the Bible. I've heard some people say, if Adam and Eve hadn't eaten the forbidden fruit, this world today would have been a better place. Why should Esau, you know, sell his birthright just for a plate of porridge? You know, so on and so forth. You know, people are quick to relate to some characters in the Bible and judge them, and you know, but at the same time, we forget that these people are also flesh and blood, just like us. These are flesh and blood. They were not superhuman. They were not spirits. They were human beings like us. So what these people did, most of us today that are listening to me now have done 100 times more, you know. And Sarah laughed. That is the subject today. Sarah laughed because in that situation, at that point in time, the word that was given was so impossible, or looked so impossible. Then she doubted it. How many of us today have doubted the word of God, either directly from the word of God or through God's mouthpiece or God's prophets or servants telling you things to come, and you looked at them as so impossible that this thing can't be, you know, like most of us have gone through issues like that. But we're easy to say, and Sarah laughed. We saw her as somebody, her own unbelief is out of this world or that world where they live. All right, so guys, this message is to make us to put ourselves, you know, in the shoes of these characters that we read in the Bible. When you talk about Cain and Abel giving offering to God, one did the right thing, the other one did the wrong thing. You know, put yourself in their shoes. In our time today, you have been given opportunities to do some certain things, but have you been able to observe those opportunities right according to the word of God, or according to those stories that we read in the Bible? And Sarah laughed. Personally, I've laughed over some things when people come to tell me that this impossible situation, you know, can be possible. Yes, there are some things somebody will come now and tell you, according to the word of God, by this time next year, you know, a car will be sold for 500 rand. Nobody will believe it. But did it happen in time past? Yes, it did. And people doubted it. Even the man that doubted it, the Bible said on that faithful day, when he came out also to take from the spoils, you know, he was trampled upon and he died. But today we can look at that story and judge that man and say, how can a prophet of God say something like this? You know, in fact, his own was not even like in a year's time. The Bible said, the prophet said, you know, about this time tomorrow. About this time tomorrow. It's not something you can believe easily. You know, the hunger was in the land. The famine in the land grew to an extent where, you know, two women came together and had a common agreement to say, okay, bring your own child. We are going to eat your child today. Then tomorrow I'm going to be bringing my own. We'll cut and we slice and we fry or we boil. I don't know how they ate them, you know. So that was the scenario. That was the situation in the land at the time when this prophecy was given. It was that hectic. It was that impossible. Then one prophet came out from nowhere and tells you that by this time tomorrow, not next year, that a bag of rice will be sold for 50 cents. Who will believe it? Will you believe it? That was the situation. And Sarah laughed. Have you laughed? I do know women that have a better way of laughing over, some unbelievable kind of situation. She laughed. Women, I'm sorry. Women have a better way of laughing over an issue they don't believe. So, yeah, Sarah laughed. Have you laughed over some situations? When God speaks, have you for once laughed over the word of God? Have you ever for once laughed over, what God has said to you directly or indirectly, either through a prophet or through a pastor or through the Bible, the word of God? And Sarah laughed. Thank you for listening, and God bless you. Bye-bye.